He look at Joser. Do you want to go or shall
Joser
I?
kind of nudges Mac. Just you should go first.
Very well.
A pharaoh always looks for his people.
Looks at the mirror.
Hey, Blue,
Yeah.
what do you see?
He sees the illusion that he is. He sees the cage. He sees bits and pieces of the thing inside trying to get out. He sees it all held together by Deirneach. The word, the proper noun. Not the person, but its memory.
The name?
In essence, yep,
Sorry, cut you off.
he sees, in essence, he sees through himself. He sees himself. But that's wrong. To say he sees himself describes that this thing is him. It is, but he is not him. He is not them. He is... There is no word for it. Just blank air. An imaginary thing.
When you reach out, what do you want from this mirror?
He honestly doesn't expect he's gonna get anything. What he wants is what he's always wanted. A way forward with his goal. Not a dream, not a mission. Something for the memory. To make this illusion end. To put things back to how they should be. He wants to carry things with him because he is already a thing that carries. He's a ball that gathers snow on its way down. Is he the center? Is he the edges? He doesn't know. So what he wants is the ability to make sure the person that is real gets a chance one day. And he's ready to work his ass off and give whatever it takes to do it.
With that wish in your heart, you reach into the mirror. And you see before you whatever you were not expecting. This was certainly something amongst it. Slight rumbling beneath you, bumping along on an open road. Outside your window, there are vast, hilly, grassy plains. It's like home. The vast screens back in your home country. As you stare out the window, you become aware of yourself. You're in a train. And you're sitting across from someone right now. In front of you is a bowl of fruit and some simple offerings. Hello, child. Do you know who I am? If not, that's perfectly alright, but if my legacy lives on, I'd like to know.
Your legacy lives on in our world, at the very least. Paracelsus von Hohenheim, correct?
And he looks at you with an amused smile. Am I really so popular?
You are the one who created the foundations of the 5 elements that are still used today.
But to identify me by sight is still something I would not think out of an average student. How did you know?
He looks over this man. It is my nature to know things. It is a curse of mine to see things differently than most. He takes off his glasses and looks the person in the eye. You can probably tell there's not quite right with me if we're human, correct?
I suppose. But that is not all of what you are, is it?
No. It is ironic. A third of me is in part one of the concepts you've created.
I suppose that's the reason I'm here then. Because you are my product. If, albeit indirectly. You were made by my methods. And so here we are. From what I understand, your system is based on the synchronicity of the self and the legend, forming a connection no matter how tenuous. And I suppose in a way that we have a more direct and indirect connection than any other. You were born of magecraft, and thus I am your father, in a way. He chuckles as he takes a sip of tea.
It's on his glasses, blink, blink with his big ol' eyes. I suppose.
Is that not what you were implying before?
Do you... A child walks to the riverbed, gathers some clay, and crafts a doll of it. Is that child the doll's father, in a way?
That is a tough question, isn't it? It's a new perspective on it. But I don't think it quite applies here. You are not a doll by the wayside, thus I think the analogy is lacking, to be frank. I know you in ways that you could not know yourself, but you know more than I ever could. I am your father, not by blood, surely, but by principle of the thing. If I did not have any interest in taking care of you, I would not have called out to you. And I do not think your heart would have answered in kind.
If that is what you will wish to call it, then it is the closest thing I have to one, I suppose.
You did have a father, didn't you?
That man had a son. I was never a son. I was a replacement. A representation of what should have happened.
And that is a tragedy.
Wish is to rectify this tragedy and make sure that son gets back what is his.
I understand, and I sympathize, but what will you do if it cannot be fixed? What happens if you are the only son remaining?
I live as I always have. Person who remembers, and I make sure that, at the very least, I remain his memory. A living legacy to a degree. I'll make sure that, even if he didn't get the chance to live, he had the chance to exist.
You are far too kind a boy for your circumstances, Mac. So many others would lash out. They believe the world has entitled them something for their tragedy. But I can say this, I am proud of you for taking the hardest road. To bear such burdens, not only of yourself, but of all others. It's not a path any human can walk. But if it's you, perhaps. He takes another sip of his tea. I wish you to be my disciple, young Deirneach. I would not blame you if you have forsaken the ways of magecraft, but I know you've been studying hard, poring over old tomes, over old things long lost. But if you would have me as your teacher, it would be my privilege to give some measure of salvation to a child of my magecraft. I cannot help but feel responsible in some way that my miracles were turned to such horrid ends.
I accept, thankfully. Father.
Oh, when you say it like that so blazingly. He gives a polite little chuckle. I suppose I'll get used to it. In the meantime, from what I understand, you were never bestowed an Azoth dagger, were you?
No.
But allow me to supplement that lack. Your father did not give you the tools that proved your mastery. But I understand that in spite of the tragedies in your life, you have been studying very hard. And as such, I would like to eschew tradition, where most would see fit to give you a gift at the end of your training. I will give you more to supplement it. I will lend you my knowledge in its purest form, that you may not bear the burden alone, that you may not be alone in this endeavor, so that I can be with you when you face whatever comes, even if you cannot save all that you want to. I would be happy to be there and teach you. So, to begin this training, I will begin at the end. I give my blade to you, Mac. And please, do stop by again sometime. I do believe I'd want to get to know you more, my son. He gives you a slight smile, as if he's proud of you for doing nothing at all. And he reaches under the table, as a matter of fact, and pulls out a blade as if it were there the whole time. In a velvet-lined black wood box. Therein lies a blade. Or at least a blade-shaped implement. A crystal, multifaceted, many-colored. Blue and red and green and yellow and orange and all the hues of magic. I give you the blade of Paracelsus, my son. So please, if I may ask something unreasonably of you, forgive me for what you will suffer through.
He closes his eyes, and he slowly takes the box and the blade, and he simply says, "Thank you. For even if it's suffering, it's still a chance. And I don't think there would have been a chance without you."
Perhaps. But I can only hope that this will bring you success. I pray that one day you will find a way to forgive me. But for now, I think you should go back to your world. Goodbye, Mac Deirneach. Goodbye, son of Magecraft. Goodbye, the one who holds the name. Carry it well. And you emerge from the mirror, pulling out a blade of 1,000,000 crystals compressed and forged into one solid slab. From a hilt, you now wield a crystal. A computational device that glows and glimmers with the colors of magecraft. You may now equip the blade of Paracelsus Blue.
Yippee!
All right.
He observes it. Kind of like turns his head. Can I unwound Sword of Paracelsus?
Actually, no.
Got
Those
it.
are that attribute is only wounded because your noble reflection is not released. So
Got it. He kind of like tilts his head a bit to the air. Tilts it again, turns to Waver.
what'd you get?
Well, I believe I'm now an average one now. So that's good.
Wait, hold on. Like the magecraft average one. Like you can wield
Yes.
all 5 elements.
Yes.
Hot damn! All right.
This is... He looks down at it. Sword of Paracelsus. It is, from what I understand, what all Azoth swords are based off of.
Yep. That sure looks like it. Gotta say, honestly, out of all the people I thought may get the mage computer blade, I didn't expect it to be you.
Well,
Use it
He-
well.
he shifts his glasses. I am just an average magus, after all. It fits that I have the weapon of all words. I need to think for a minute. I am perceiving.
Well,
He walks into a wall, bumps, walks back. Oh, that's a wall.
he kind of, Waver kind of leans over to Amir. I can't get a read on that guy. All right, Joe, so you're up.